All right, today we're going to use the bandsaw and learn all about safety and how to cut for arms and legs and potentially the body, right? So we have arms and legs that are made out of 1/2-inch dowel rod. This is important. A 1/2-inch dowel rod is to be found over here in this bucket. Do not use this for your base. Only use this for the body, okay? So, and to test it, we have this little piece of paper, this is a little cheat sheet. If you put your dowel rod right there, that's gonna be the right thickness, okay? So I want you to practice that. Now this is these are suggested sizes here of using the dowel rod. And I'm gonna show you how I would go ahead marking this out in the easiest way possible. So what I'm gonna do is just line this up and mark one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these are just suggestions, so if you want to get creative and you have different ideas, you are not bound to these, but these will work with the dimensions of the base and everything that I've already kind of tested out for you. However, if you want to try your own thing, by all means, you're definitely able to. Okay, we're going to use power tools, so safety first. Fashionable goggles, always a must. We've got our markings. We're going to go to the bandsaw. Bandsaw can be pretty dangerous and scary. What we want to do is make sure that the surface is clean, no debris, no big pieces. Make sure this thing is not moving up and down. Okay, so just kind of test that, make sure it's not moving up and down, it's pretty stationary. Everything else is good to go. Make sure this door doesn't fly open. And it's basically an on-off switch. This is a rotating blade right here. If you were to put your finger right there, it will cut it off. We will not be doing that. We will be cutting wood, right? Only wood. And so I have pre-marked my wood. And my wood, so I'm going to cut it like this. Okay, so I have my pieces. Now I obviously could not start from this side and cut these pieces because they're not going to go past this. So I'm going to need to cut my wood going this direction, right? Just one piece at a time. Okay, so notice that's a pretty small distance there. So I'm going to just keep doing this kind of cutting as I go. So I have it marked, but I'm going to cut like that so that I can. Is that right? Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. I'll show you. Okay. So these gloves are not going to completely stop your finger from getting cut, but it could keep you from losing a digit. So you are definitely putting these gloves on. Okay. Make sure you look around you before we actually start cutting. We'll probably move these tables back once we start working so that nobody is going to be likely to bump you. And we will go into the on position. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut one piece at a time. One. This piece is really scary small. Okay, so you're just going to do that and then push the wood away from the back of the blade. Put your piece down there. Okay, so the very small pieces you need to lightly move. This one's easy. The smaller one, a little close. If it doesn't actually move away from the blade nicely, just turn it off. That's a small piece, okay? You can take as long as you need to at this bandsaw. I also suggest that we use a plastic bag, which you can get from here, to store your cut pieces in. Okay, so we will have that bag at the ready. Should have done this before I put the gloves on. But these are pieces that I've already cut, and so I just want to have that. I don't want to lose these because they're super tiny. And then I will go on my merry way. Okay, so you have 8 pieces to cut. If you have a sticker, you should take that off beforehand, but for this I'm just going to keep cutting through it. It's just a sticker, it's not going to hurt anything. try to reach in there. Let's turn it off. Safety first, my dears. Safety first. Remove your goggles. Make sure you put the goggles back. Make sure you put your cut pieces into your bag for safekeeping, and you should have 8 pieces in total. So do a little count when to make sure you're done. And congratulations, you've used the bandsaw.